Hello everyone, welcome to the final exercise of this course. Now, on this exercise we're going to create a motion graphic video for a logo, and this will be the result. You can see it's pretty simple, but it's pretty cool. So the main idea when we're working with motion graphics is that first we keep it as clean as possible. You can see that this animation doesn't have anything here on the background bothering. It's very simple and very minimalistic. Also, the idea is to get rid of everything that isn't adding something to the design. For example, you can see that the main focus here is the logo, the studio logo. Of course, this is a fictional studio, and you can see that this is the main focus, and all the motion happens here. So we have and don't have anything here on the sides. We don't have anything bothering, and so the main focus will be on the studio logo, which is of course the most important thing on the video. So let's get ready to create this motion graphics. This will be a very simple exercise, but you will learn a lot with it. So let's close this, and now I have the logo already set up for working on After Effects. This is an amazing logo that you can find on Freepik, of course, and I have already separated everything on the logo. I have all these rectangles, these rounded rectangles, I have it on different layers. I have these three balls on different layers also. I have the splat divided into purple, blue, and pink, and you can see that these two, the purple splat and the pink splat, they have some pattern. This has a round a circle pattern, and this has a line pattern. So we need to animate this pattern along with the movement of the logo. So this can be a little tricky, but I will show you a nice way to do it. So I divided everything, and you can see that I renamed all the layers. I have renamed this text. I have renamed this as dot, and ball 1, 2, and 3, rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4, and also these wavy lines. And of course the splat blue is this one. This is the splat pink dots, and the splat purple lines, which is the pattern. Of course, I will share with you this file just like it is right now. But now let's go to After Effects and let's import this file, the logo file. Press Composition, select Import, and now we have the logo layers. So let's create a new composition. Let's set it to HDTV 1080. Don't worry about the time just yet. Click OK, and now drop your logo here. Now let's move this logo to the center here on this point. Okay, I'm going to change this to half. Now I'm going to open my logo composition and make sure that this composition has the same size as the main composition, which is HDTV 1080. Click OK. Perfect. Now we can move this logo, grab all the layers, and move the logo to the middle of our screen, just like this. I know it looks a little bit messy right now, but don't worry, it will look better. Okay, now first we're going to animate this splat, the main splat, the purple, blue, and pink splat right here. So we can turn off everything else. We will turn off the logo, the balls, the rectangles, everything that isn't here on the middle, and we will keep only all the layers that say splat. Splat blue is this one. We can also turn this off. these are splat pink dots. This is the splat pink. Splat purple lines are these, and splat purple is this, of course. So I'm going to turn off this splat purple for now, because I'm going to focus here on this splat pink, because I want this animation first. So the idea is that these dots are going to move from this point to all the way to here, so that it looks like some kind of movement inside this splat. So the tricky part here is making a mask so that the dots only, we can only see the dots here on this part, on this shape, this pink shape that we have here. This is a tricky part. But guess what? We are here to learn, and you will learn how to do this in an easy way. So first thing that we're going to do is to not pay attention for the dots right now. Just grab your splat pink right now. You can color this. Guess what color? Pink. Now I have this splat pink, right? And this is an Illustrator file. As you can see, this is a vector file from Illustrator. But if I right click on this, you can see it on this menu where we can pre-compose, or the camera, orbit null, and everything else, the transform, time, all the options. We have an option here called create shapes from vector layer, and what this option does is that it creates a shape layer out of this vector file with the same shape as the vector file. For example, if I click this, now I have a new shape with the same shape as the pink layer. So that's really useful, because we can now create a mask with this. So you can see, let me bring this layer together with the other pink layers. I'm going to make this pink, and you can see that right now the splat turned off automatically. When we convert to shapes, it automatically turns off, but we don't need it turned off. So now we have this shape that you can see it's the same shape as this splat pink, but it's not an Illustrator file, it's a shape layer. So if it is a shape layer, that means that we can use this as a mask. So if it is a shape layer, that means that I can use this as a track matte. So if I go to my pink dots, I'm going to toggle switches and modes, and I'm going to the track matte here. Remember the track matte lesson, which was very important. And I change this to alpha matte splat pink outlines. This will happen. Now I just created a mask with the same shape as the splat pink shape. So if I move these dots, you can see that I can move them and keep with the mask. So that's, of course, one of the many ways to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, which is the animation of this part. But it works for me. It works. It totally works, and the result, as you can see, is perfect for us. So that's all there is to it. Finally, these dots right now, they are white. They're like a white color, and they don't look so good. So I'm going to select here on the modes. These are the blending modes. This is the way this layer will blend with the layer below it. So right now it's on normal, but if I select overlay, you can see that it integrates more. It integrates better now. It looks way better because it took the color from the layer below it. So I'm going to leave this on in overlay, and what I want now is to animate these pink dots. So I'm going to open my position settings. I'm going to click here. I'm going to zoom in first. I'm going to click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe, and I'm going to move a long time because I want this animation to be really slow. So I'm going to move around 12 seconds. We can fix that later. And I'm going to move this layer up to where the dots end. You can see that they are ending here, so they should go all the way here. So now if I hit play, you can see that these dots are moving. I think they are moving too fast still, so I'm going to take this keyframe and I'm going to move it really far away. Doesn't matter if the animation lasts 10 seconds. We can still have keyframes here. I'm going to move it all the way to 30 seconds and see how it looks. The idea is that this movement is really slow. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, 30 seconds work for us. So get the other keyframe up all the way to the 30 second. So now we're done with the pink splat. Now we can turn off. Let's turn on the purple lines and turn off the splat pink dots. So now it's time to animate this one. So we're going to repeat the same process. Let me teach you again. We have the splat purple lines and we have the splat purple, which is this shape. So what we need to do is to create a mask out of this layer, out of this shape, and use this mask as a track matte for the lines. So let's take our splat purple, right click and choose create shapes from vector layer. Let's look for it. It will appear right on the top of the timeline. Now drag it all the way to the bottom. And now it's time to use this as a track matte. So take your purple lines, track matte, and choose alpha matte. And you can see that now it's using this shape as the mask. Of course, this automatically will turn off the splat purple, so we need to turn it on so that it can look this way. Again, you can see that the lines are white. I want this to blend better with the splat purple, so I'm going to choose on the mode. I'm going to choose overlay. Now you can see we have a nice tone here. Okay, now it's time to animate it. Let's open the position here. Click on the stopwatch to create a position keyframe. And let's move again to the 40th second or 30 second. Yeah. And let's move all this layer all the way to here. Now let's see how it works. Maybe we can use more time. This looks good. Perfect. So now let's change first this composition settings. Let's change it to white. And you can now turn everything on, but don't turn on the track matte, the outlines, don't turn them on. Just turn on all the other layers. Alright, now you can see that we have now the logo with this subtle animation, and it looks really nice. So as you can see, it may seem a little bit complicated when we saw the first video. It may seem a little bit complicated creating this animation with a mask, but as you can see, it's just a matter of knowing what tools we want to use, and that's pretty much for everything here on After Effects. Once that you know the process or the tools that you are going to have to use, the rest is very easy. So this is like that on After Effects and any software that we want to learn. Okay, we are done with the masking animation here. This splat blue, we don't need it to animate it. Now it's time to animate this whole splat so that it gets here on the middle and it have some movement with this rectangle. But that will be on the next lesson.